What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes always deliver the big names. Today we get Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, who's in a mood, but he says he's going to shift everything and focus on Junkie Nation because he knows a lot of you, a lot of our people
You
are
motherfuckers
from California.
you motherfuckers tell them why.
And like, well, we got history. We got history, but Junkie Nation, Junkie Nation loves Jorge Masvidal. He loves us. I know there's a lot of you in California. You need to get to the Honda Center on July 6th. Jorge Masvidal is going to be boxing against Nate Diaz. So that's right. They're in the squared circle. They're going to put on the boxing gloves, and they also got a nice undercard as well. If you can't get to it, watch the pay-per-view. You can go to fanmeo.com to order it. And I believe it's all scanning through it. They got a nice little offer there where you can maybe get a t-shirt thrown your way and everything. So check it out, fanmeo.com if you order the pay-per-view. And if not, get down to the Honda Center, man. Shane Mosley Jr. is on that card against Daniel Jacobs, Chris Avila versus Anthony Pettis. It's going to be a fun time. What's going on, Jorge? How are you, man?
I'm good, brother. A little pissed off because they told me I was going to do interviews for about an hour. It's been about 2 now. And I got shit to do on this motherfucking week. But, you know, they think I'm stupid. They said you guys for last because they know I wouldn't tell you guys no. And they know I'll go as long as you guys want. So they did that. But for that, the rest of the world ain't going to see me at least this week and probably next week. I ain't doing no fucking interviews for nobody. Because instead of me being at the gym and having done my shit, they fuck with my schedule today. Now I'm fucking up everybody's shit. You know, this shit's retarded.
Are you still running the mountain at Mount Charleston? Are you getting that in as well, or do you do your road work more in this desert where it's 100 degrees?
No, more flat ground now.
Yeah.
Save my legs for the fight. You know, the lungs are already in shape. I'm already in shape. My conditioning is in shape. My mind is good. So I don't need to do the mountain this close to the fight. Probably be a little bit more wear and tear than actual like progressive good stuff. So right now I'm just focused on my weight, really just bringing my weight down like I always do, making sure I'm nice and light before the week of the fight and ready to fucking execute.
You've had a long decorated career in combat sports, and I wanted to ask you, what are your most meaningful wins? Whether it be the Kimbo days, BMF, the streets, MMA, what have been the ones that have really, really resonated with you? Like, man, I'm taking these with me into retirement.
You know, in a sense, every single win is just as important as the biggest wins or the smallest wins, because if it wasn't for that win, it wouldn't have got to the next win and so on and so on and so on. So in a way, all of them rank about the same in my head. Now, there is moments so in my life where I look back and I go, man, this moment right here helped me understand that I was built for this. I could do this for the rest of my life. And this is one that I've always said, but, you know, I had already a good amount of fights. I had beaten some guys in the regional scene and on the national scene. They were pretty damn good. But I hadn't faced, you know, and I had faced some UFC veterans too already at the time, you know. But I hadn't faced a guy that was top ranked in the world. And I think at the time he was number 3. He was definitely in the top 5 of the world. But I think around a lot of publications, including like MMA Junkie, Sherdog, all these things, he was like number 3 at the time. And I was like, I don't know, 106 in the world or something like that. I remember I had looking up my ranking. It was like I was nowhere, not even in the top 100. And that was against Eva Edwards. And this is somebody that he had like a little documentary tape going on about his fights and stuff. And I had seen it since I was like 14, 15. And I was like, man, this guy's fucking brutal. He's going around rearranging people's faces with knees straight to the dentist. He would just fucking line you up and send you to the dentist where it was elbows or knees, great kicks. Went into the UFC, went on a 6-0 streak, and then the 155-pound division got disbanded. And it just so happens me and him ended up in the same show, Bodog. And when I got offered this fight, I'm not going to lie, it was the only time in my career where for my physical health, I was a little scared and worried. I was like, if I fuck up, if I get tired for a second on this guy and he clinches me, he's going to fucking rearrange my face. My nose is going to be this way. My fucking jaw is gonna be this way. I'm not gonna look like one of these people, you know. I'm not gonna let somebody mess up all these good looks right here. So I fucking trained my ass off, like I never trained for any fight until that moment. You know, let's say I used to run the mile in like 7 minutes. Well, I was fucking pushing myself to run that mile in 6 minutes and 48 seconds, and just the better version of myself was constantly showing up. And a problem happened in that fight where the fight got postponed and moved back several times, you know. So it went from, it was going to be in September, and then I think it ended up being like November or something like that. And the more it got pushed back, the more in shape I just got, and I dialed in more, and I didn't let any of that like stop me. Like, I'm just gonna keep training, and I got in the best shape of my life. And still haven't been in the best shape of my life. There was still doubts in my mind, like, do I have the endurance to go with this guy in the third round? Because I hadn't fought a guy of that caliber in the third round. Am I gonna have enough reflexes and timing and skill set to keep up with this dude? And all those questions got answered in that fight. Thank God I got my hand raised. I won against a very vicious Eva Edwards. But more than the victory, even if I had lost that day, it showed me I can compete with these guys, and I can compete with these guys at the highest of levels. I just got to be able to take my mind and body and soul that I could get after it. I could train, focus with a purpose in mind, and I could fight with any of these guys. And that kind of opened my mind and the door to, I know I always thought I could do this, but I know for a fact, without a shadow of doubt, I can compete with the best of them any fucking given day.
Hell yeah, man. That's a great story. We're connecting the dots. Eva Edwards at one point was arguably the best 55er in the world back in the day. And it's cool. I think you guys wound up being teammates. I don't know what kind of relationship you have now. Ease is a cool guy, man. Much love for Thug Jitsu. And I guess what I wanted to ask you was, where would this win, if you get your hand raised on the 6th, which I know you're confident that's going to happen, where would this fit in this illustrious combat sports career for you?
It'll be awesome. It'll be cool because it's another victory, and all victories, like I said, are amazing. But, you know, it's just one step closer to my ultimate goals. You know, it's one step closer to me knowing that I'm doing the right thing and keep everything in the same direction and just keep grinding that way and just put all my effort, my force, all my thoughts into that and get it done. But is it going to be like a celebrated moment or nothing like that? Like, man, once I go to sleep and I woke up, I'll be like, next, on to the next thing to conquer, you know, next mountain to run.
Mm-hmm. Jorge, throughout our time covering you, it's always been about mixed martial arts, but we've always talked about boxing because we know that you've always had a love for it. So I'm happy that you get to go into the squared circle wearing the gloves. But what I want to know is your mindset. Is it still a little bit of a mindset of a mixed martial artist? Is it going to be of a boxer, or is there something in between that I like to call the mindset of a fighter? Do you think you'll have like a blend of both of them when you get in there?
Well, very good question, Goals. So when I decided to set out to come to boxing full time, something that I wanted to do was I didn't want to be at an MMA gym working out boxing. I wanted to be at a boxing gym working out boxing with boxers, boxing coaches, absorb that whole culture, do what they do from when the sun comes up to the sun goes down, and not like, oh, this is what I used to do. And like, no, I'm here boxing, so I want to learn from the best and do that, you know. That being said, you can't take away the 20 years of dog that I have in me of fighting. Not that I'm going to throw elbows and knees, but the fighting instincts that I have are still very much deep in me. So I've been here since January just working on my boxing craft. So I plan to bring that out as much as possible, especially since we're in a boxing ring, use as much boxing as I can in sweet science to outsmart this guy and hurt this guy. Especially Nate's a fucking like a know-it-all, so he doesn't care to improve in his style. He's been the same fucking mummy, slow-ass statue that he's always been. He doesn't add any new punches. He doesn't do anything new to his thing. He just thinks he figured it all out at the age of like 17 with his blonde highlights and doing jiu-jitsu and shit, you know, which is something that's like fucking weird to me, you know, like you're always learning in this game. So I definitely want to bring in everything that I've learned in these last 6 months, mixing with the dog that everybody from MMA has always seen, you know, and just take this guy out fucking swift and mercilessly, you know.
You know, Jorge, I was getting fired up on YouTube, man. That was a great series. I watched it last night again. And you made a point. You were talking about how you guys actually have a lot of similarities, but you're very, very different people. Okay. So I guess that being said, I know you've been face to face with him many times, and even back in MMA. Do you feel like when you look into his eyes now, does he feel any different? Do you pick up on anything different the second time around?
Oh yeah.
You stare into his soul?
Oh yeah. Since the first face-off we had here in Vegas. Oh yeah. I seen some shit in his eyes, you know, that you know, probably shouldn't talk about it here too much, but yeah, I seen some shit in his eyes that he didn't want to be there, you know, and I wonder why. He's got cooler shit to be at or something to do, you know, I don't know, but I just feel like when we made that eye-to-eye contact every time, man, he don't want what's coming. He knows what's coming.
Can you make a finish in boxing? Will it feel even sweeter than what happened in mixed martial arts?
I don't know if sweeter, but it's definitely awesome to whoop his ass in MMA where he could do all his fucking bullshit ass chokes that he likes to do and fucking, you know, flop guard and try to submit guys off his back and shit. Like, that's fucking, that, like, you're giving into my will. I'm dropping you from a punch and then you're in your back like, come in my fucking guard. That's like pussy shit to me, bro. You know, like, fucking stand up and fight or take me down and fucking pound my face in, but you can't do none of that, obviously, because you ain't built for that. You know, so now we get to do just straight boxing. We don't have to worry about none of that other stuff. And it's just like mano a mano, who is the fucking more bravado, the more bravo, the meaner motherfucker. And we're going to find out July 6th, you know?
Roberto Duran walked you out to the original BMF fight. And I saw recently when I was scanning your Instagram, he was at Capatillo's gym. Did he offer any advice for you now that you're in his pro?
This motherfucker saw me spar 6 rounds with another pro, 15-0 guy with like 12 knockouts. And he was like telling me all types of shit. And he's like the type of critic that doesn't have any fucking filter. He's going to tell you just how it is. So he was telling me like, you hit like a girl here and you're fucking punching like a woman there. And fucking slapped me in the back of the head and pushed me like, come on, man. You know, it was amazing. Then after that, we spent like 20 minutes just hitting the bag. He just saw me hitting the bag and it was like, just correcting everything I was doing, you know. It was like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Get your hand up, that's wrong, that's wrong. Okay, finally you did this right. That's wrong, that. And it was just like amazing, man, because truly I feel he's one of the greatest to ever lace up the gloves. He's up there in the top 3 best fighters that ever stepped into the boxing ring. His expertise in the inside work, the mid-range, the long range, his versatility, how he went from 130 to 168 pounds and fought the best in the world and won titles and beat one of the greatest fighters that I ever think walked the planet in Sugar Ray Leonard, you know. So it's a lot of it is his physicalities and what he was born with, but it's also his mind, how he operates, how he dissects moments, how he approaches the clinch, how he works inside the clinch, how he works his mid distance, his setups, everything. So just getting to be around, not just there's some guys that are crazy good athletes and they became world champions. And that's amazing, you know, but you might not be able to do what they could do. Duran, a lot of stuff that he shows me and stuff is things that I can do and I can bring into my game of boxing. You know, I just got to willing to repeat them and then try them out, you know. So to get the advice from him was fucking eye-opening and amazing.
Will you see him one more time before the fight, or will he be at the fight, Duran?
No, he'll be at the fight. He'll be at the fights.
Oh, very cool. Man, that's got to be pretty lifting, because I know you've told us since we've covered you that boxing was your first love and he was your favorite boxer.
Yeah. It's intense. Every time I see him, man, it's like his kids call me like I'm their brother. You know, they think I'm like a long lost brother. You know, so they're very welcoming to me. He treats me like a son. You know, and it's fucking amazing feeling, man. It's truly is amazing to be around him.
Like Goes mentioned, Last Man Standing is a quality documentary that you guys are doing. I believe it's going to be 4 parts. I know there's going to be another part dropping soon. How about you? Did you get a chance to watch it, and did it accomplish what you wanted it to? And which I imagine was to match something on the level of what HBO and Showtime have done. I really like it, Jorge. It was well done, but what were your thoughts?
I ain't see it.
Oh, no?
Nah, because I didn't even want to see it, man. I'm just fucking training all the time. I'm just one pissed off motherfucker, to tell you the truth, bro. You know, my kids are kind of like my escape thing. You know, when I'm training back home, I get my ass kicked, go hang out with my kids, we eat some pizza or something, we talk shit. And I feel like a little better about myself than back to the next day with a new attitude, you know. Over here, it's kind of like, I'm just fucking, I just want to fucking punch somebody in the face. I just want to hurt people more. You know, so I really even don't watch TV. I just train, go to gym, come back, recoup, recover, train, go to gym, come back, eat some food, recoup, recover. Monday through Saturday, that's all I do. And then Sunday, I'm just so tired. I just take a whole day off, chill out, praise God for everything I got. And then right back to it Monday, you know. So when they sent me the show, I was like, I don't even watch, bro. Because looking at Nate's just going to piss me the fuck off. So I didn't watch that thing.
Well, I'll respect that, but I will give you some feedback. It was cool to see you go back to your original roots, the apartments. Mm-hmm. You showed where kids used to mess around and jump on trees and it was bent still. And then I think you advised your kids to not do that, but it looked really good, connecting you and I guess your youth. So bravo to the team. And if you choose not to watch it, I understand that, but it really was well done, man.
After the fight, I'll definitely watch it, you know. But sometimes during the fights, I get a little bit like too fucking watching these things, so I'd rather not even just, you know. I'm already set to go, but you got to watch me spar, motherfucker. That's even cooler, huh?
I did really enjoy it. It was really cool to see you and your coach in between rounds. I think you have a quality sparring partner. I don't know if you want to name who it is, but you know, he's doing a great job as well. So it was really, really fun to watch.
Oh, hell yeah. You know, and I've been here, like I said, since January. Good guy. After good guys as similar as we can to Nate Diaz. So it's been a fucking fun journey, man. Getting in shape. I felt like a kid a lot of times in the beginning, in a good way of that, learning new things and being in a new environment and just absorbing it all and having quality people around me and quality coaches that could actually get me to parlay, you know. And I think you got to see a lot of it in the sparring and a lot of things that I was doing with things that we were working on. They're just flowing a lot smoother now. And I hope you got to enjoy that sparring session, man. It's gonna be better when it comes July 6th.
Jorge, I got one last one from me. You wear a lot of hats, man. Promoter, fighter, you've done a lot. And I know your focus is Nate Diaz, but what I want to know, and I'm going to take, you know, my MMA media hat off as a fan, what I want to know is, do you kind of already have programmed what's next? And, you know, maybe you can't share what that is, but do you at least know what it is? Because I'll tell you what, man, on our show constantly, the fight that we all have always wanted to see is you and Conor at some point, whether it's boxing, MMA, anything. I've just always wanted to see that, man. And so I want to know, is the book, do you already have that next chapter kind of written? And can you maybe share what it could be?
All right, so this is my thoughts on it. I think Conor's convinced that he could beat Chandler. He really thinks so. And, you know, not that this Chandler, but it's not like a huge mountain to climb. Like, Chandler's a very beatable guy, you know, for obvious reasons. And Conor won't step in the ring with him for some reason or another. You know, it's a mind thing. It's Dustin Poirier took his soul, as the rumor goes around, and I really truly believe that as well, you know. And that's a guy that he thinks he could beat Chandler. He's never mentioned my name. He's never addressed me, only to like say stupid things or something, but he's never addressed a fight with me or nothing because he is scared shitless. So if we can't get him to get into the cage with a guy that he's convinced he could beat, what the fuck would make him get into the cage with me? And he knows that I'm not going to take him down. I'm not going to smother him on the ground and look for a submission. I'm going to beat the fuck out of him. Since that bell rings till the bell ends, I'm going to beat the crap out of him standing. And he knows when Nate Diaz got his ass whooped the first one, and the second one I thought he lost as well, you know. And I can't really stand much Nate Diaz, but you can't take it from him. He beat fucking Conor's ass round 2.5 and up, round 3, round 4, round 5. He beat the crap out of Conor, and Conor saw that this guy can't do absolutely nothing to me. Even when he did land the punch, it was like a fucking mosquito bite for me. You know, I walked right through that thing and gave him some heat and put him down. You know, so I think Conor analyzes those things and says, "Man, this dude is as mean as he looks and athletic, and I want no fucking part of this guy because he's gonna take me out of the game the way that I don't want to be taken out." You know, and I'm gonna take all his air from him because he's not gonna be able to say, "Well, this guy took me down and fucking, you know, rid me out or some shit." No, I'm gonna fucking bust his face up. It's not gonna be good for his brand. The UFC's trying to make this fight happen, as Dana has said, and Conor doesn't want it. He just doesn't want the damn fight. You know, never mentions my name or anything. But we're the biggest possible fight. You think Michael Chandler versus Conor sells more than me versus Conor? Like, nobody in their right mind thinks that. Or Conor versus Cowboy sells more than me versus Conor? Nobody in their right mind thinks that, you know? I'm one of the biggest pay-per-view draws of the UFC of the last 5-6 years. Of course we break all records and stuff, but this coward won't do it, you know? And also, me personally, I would never just sit around waiting for one fucking man to fight XYZ years. You know, I get it for Chandler's in a different situation because he hasn't made that type of money. But me personally, like, bro, this guy pulls out once, she go fuck yourself. You know, I got bigger fish to fry, you know? So I in my future, I don't see this fucking fight happening unless I run into him at a parking lot. So yeah.
All right. Well, Jorge, thank you so much for the time, as always. And good luck with the rest of your camp.
Y'all going to the fight, right?
July 6th, Anaheim. You know, that's where we grew up. We grew up one city over, Santa Ana, which is right next to Anaheim, California. So that is the plan.
Either, bro. Let's go.
That is the plan. And it's a great undercard, folks. Like I told you before, Chris Avila versus Anthony Pettis. They come from the MMA world, but they're throwing hands now. And then you got Daniel Jacobs and Shane Mosley Jr., as well as 2 other bouts. And then the main event is Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. If you want to order it, you go to fanmeo.com. That's how you can get the pay-per-view. Secure it now. Or if you want, you're interested in getting tickets, go to Fanmeo so you can go through the process of buying tickets, because tickets are still available. And yes, it should be an excellent night of fights, July 6th in Southern California. Thanks, Jorge, for the time, man. Great seeing you again.
Thank you, brothers, man. See you guys soon.
All right, you too, my man.